Good evening, everybody. All right, so we are now live. It's Grant Adlam KZN Top Business Masterclass. But today we're having a master discussion, and we got Dr. Thomas Forker online. I'm just trying to turn on his video. Thomas, can you turn on your video for a sec? I can't do it from my side.
There we are.
There we go, Thomas. You're going to have to talk up a bit. We're having, ladies and gents, tonight we're having an incredible session, which was planned with, we had Dr. Robert Roussart and Monique Forker, who were going to be online, but we're having technical issues this side. So both of them are going to join us if possible, but it looks like they're not going to be able to do that. So we're just going to go ahead, and if they join us later, it'll be fantastic. If they don't, we're just going to carry on. So Quantum.Silver is the subject tonight, and all of us, including myself, except Thomas, need to know a lot more about Quantum.Silver. So I'm going to hand over to you, Thomas, and you can do a little bit of an intro, and then let's get interactive. And ladies and gents, what we're going to do tonight is I want you to ask as many questions as possible, put them in the chat, get Thomas answering the questions, because each of us have got our own individual applications or problems or health problems that are all unique to ourselves, in actual fact. So Thomas, maybe what I'll actually do is when people have got their hands up to call, I'll actually bring their voice online like we would do on a radio show, and then you two can have a conversation. I think that would work quite nicely if you're okay with that.
100%. That's a good idea.
And also the attendees, if you're okay with that, I'll do it. So I'll first ask and see if they're okay with it. Otherwise, I'll just read it out. All right. I just want to have a look here and see. All right, Thomas, on your side, we can see you. Everything's working fine?
Yeah, great.
Hold on a sec. I've got an attend. Let's have a look here. All right, Thomas, go for it.
Thank you, and good evening to everyone. I would just like to start off with something that happened about a week ago. A friend of mine woke up one morning and he had very sore eyes. So he made an appointment and went to see his doctor, his GP. And after that, he gave me a ring and he said to me, Thomas, the diagnosis is viral conjunctivitis, the viral infection. And the doctor told me there's nothing they can do about it. So he has just to try and lessen the pain of it and hope that it goes away and that he can heal from it. Now, the good news is why we're discussing this new exciting product, Quantum.Silver, is today we can do something about it. Maybe not many doctors know about it, but till now, there hasn't been a medical solution for a viral infection. The good news is we do have now a medical solution to treat viral infections so that we heal faster and better and without all the negative consequences that there were in the past many years. So I think that's just a good introduction to say, yes, now we've got a new solution to our old problem, where previously there were no answers, there was no medication. And what makes it special about Quantum.Silver, that it's a scientific product, it has been well researched, it's manufactured in Germany, our product, and we know exactly on a cellular level how it actually works, how does it interact with viruses, and how does it denature viruses so that the body can heal itself after the virus has been removed. Let's see whether there are any other questions. Ready? I see someone is raising her hand. Lana?
All right, so Lana, so I'm just waiting to see the question where it's gone. So Lana, if you can ask the doctor a question and he can answer you if you're okay with that. Okay. what seems to be happening here is the chat is unable. So I'm just working on that. So in the meantime, maybe we can just talk about. You mentioned there was a new product that we're launching this week.
Yeah.
Or we have launched. It was last week.
Correct. Time is flying. Yeah. The new product that has been on the market only for 1 week is called Healing Cream. It comes in a 50-gram container. And this is a combination of Quantum.Silver plus 3 essential oils that have different healing properties and are very good for the skin, removing blemishes, for acne, many applications, eczema, etc., and also to heal with less scar tissue. I think that is something that is very important if one has got an infection or lacerations or cuts or whatever on the skin, that one can treat it and that you are not left with big scars at the end of the day. So this the Healing Cream. We tested it for many months. Monica, my wife, actually developed the product, and we tested amongst many people with various conditions and had only positive feedback. Also from allergies that just went away a lot quicker, and the consequences of allergies, the itching and the redness on the skin, that was healed a lot quicker. So that's really great to have this addition to our family of products that we have available. Grant, I see on the chat box questions and answers, there are quite a few questions coming up.
There are, yes.
Would it be okay if we handle those?
I think we should just go ahead and do that, Thomas.
Yeah, there's one by Don Gray. Did your patients with conjunctivitis actually heal? Yeah, those patients that actually bought from us the iron eardrops, yes, the healing was a lot faster. We must also understand that our product will kill the actual virus that causes the infection, but then the body needs time to go through the healing process, to remove whatever cells were damaged and replace them with new cells. So that can take a few days, but usually the pain and inflammation goes away very quickly, maybe within 24 hours or 48 hours, and then the body gets a chance to heal. So yes, we've had a lot of success over the last few years with our iron eardrops for various infections, not only viral conjunctivitis, but also bacterial infections. The next question is from Anne Kips. Is it taken orally or as a cream? I'm not quite sure whether it pertains to just the healing cream, but as I say, our main seller is the Quantum.Silver solution, which people drink if they have got any infection and they feel sick. They drink it twice a day. For an adult, the dose would be 50 milliliter twice a day. And then on top of that, if one has got a skin condition, for example, ringworm or whatever there could be, then we also apply Quantum.Silver in a different form on the skin, either as a gel, and that also comes in a 50 or 125 gram sachet, and we apply it on the skin 2 to 3 or even 4 times a day, depending on what it is. And or the healing cream can be applied on the skin, which is also very effective. So yes, our product is taken orally, and the principle behind that is within about 20 minutes after drinking it, the Quantum.Silver has got a local effect in the gut, either in the stomach or intestine, if there are infectious bacteria, but it's also taken up within 20 minutes into the bloodstream. Then it circulates through the body, and wherever there's a point of infection or inflammation, the silver will concentrate there and have its effect, killing the viruses, bacteria, or fungi, whatever the situation is, so that the body can heal itself a lot quicker. And I've got one more here from, Grant.
Thomas, what I'm going to try and do is just to make it a little bit more interactive. So we just don't carry on reading our sentences. I'm going to, I see in the chat line, I'm sort of battling to get up and running. For some reason, it's disabled, but the Q&A is working very well. So if you're sitting at home and you want to have a chat to Thomas, like I see Gail has said she's okay to chat to you, I'm going to put her online, and then you ask the question, because she's got quite an in-depth question that is quite hard for you to answer because there's a lot of answers involved in it.
Yeah.
So just bear with me one sec. I'm just going to find Gail on the list again. All right. Technology normally works. Let's see how it goes. Gail. I see there are a lot of people online. And where did Gail go? There you go. All right, Gail, can you hear us?
Yes, I can. Have I been unmuted?
We can hear you perfectly, Gail. So go ahead and ask your question.
Thank you, Thomas. I was wondering, what is the difference between nano silver, iconic silver, and colloidal silver?
All right. Thank you. That's a very important question that I've been asked many, many times. And it's important that we understand what each term actually means. First of all, the term nanosilver refers to very small silver particles. And nano are in the order of 10 to 20 nanometers, which is a millionth of a millimeter. So that's extremely small, nanosilver. The second one that you mentioned is colloidal silver. Colloidal, the scientific term, just denotes something dissolved in water. So if silver is dissolved in water, people talk about colloidal silver. Ours is also dissolved in water, but because our active molecule is very unique and very different to the ionic silver, which I'll explain just now, we do not refer to ours as colloidal silver, because then people think it's the same as the colloidal silver that you buy in store at the pharmacy. Ionic silver differs from our product in the sense that it is made with an electric current in a water bath, where these two anode and diode, they separate the silver from a silver salt. And that silver then starts aggregating as a positively charged silver atom, and it can be in a nano size, which will be less than 20 nanometers, but it can also accumulate and agglomerate into bigger particles where lots of silver clump together. This clumping causes the particle sizes to be anywhere between, say, 10 up to 250 nanometer in size. And it's positively charged. That's why colloidal silver that you buy in a chemist is very different to our product, which we import from Germany. The active ingredient difference day and night, although both are silver based, but ours has the ability to be absorbed quickly and to be excreted quickly. Within 12 hours, most of it has left the body already. That's why we recommend, if someone is sick, to take it twice daily. It is a lot safer, our product, and also a lot more effective than the old method of producing colloidal silver in an ionic form.
Thanks, Thomas. So I'm understanding that the size of the particles is really important in how the body processes them.
Correct. So in other words, if the silver is in the body and it's below 20 nanometer, it can have an effect on, for example, a viral infection. If the particles are bigger than that, it most probably will not kill the virus because it's not taken up easily. It doesn't enter cells that have been infected by viruses, etc. Whereas in our case, the active ingredient is always exactly the same size. There's no clumping, and ours is therefore so much more effective because all particles are of a nano size, which is less than 20 nanometer if one measures it across.
Great, thank you for that.
Pleasure.
Okay, Thomas, I think that worked pretty well. So well done to yourself and Gail. I got Yoshni who wants to ask you a question, so I'm going to allow her in now. So you're just going to have to unmute yourselves, eh? When you come on. There you go.
Hi, thank you. Hi, Grant.
Hello there.
Thank you. It's Yoshi. My question is regarding, with skin of color, hyperpigmentation is very common with skin of color. And, with our already darker skin tones, we already have like a higher melanin content. So my question is, these products, are they safe to use on skin of color? Is there anything to be wary of?
Yeah, no, they are very, very safe. Our product, what I haven't explained tonight yet, is that because of the nature of the active ingredient, our active ingredient does not enter any healthy cells in the body, which includes the skin or muscle or fat tissue. It only circulates in the blood till it gets to a cell that has been infected. For example, with a virus, then the permeability of that cell changes and our active ingredient can actually enter that cell. So in other words, our product will not enter any skin cells. It won't enter any skin cells and therefore will have no effect on the melanin or on the color of the skin. In contrast, many people with a darker skin color or dark skin color have actually used our gels, have drank thousands of liters of our product with only positive results. I'm sure that should one ever have experienced something not positive, I would have heard about it on our helpline. So it's extremely safe. It doesn't accumulate in the body. That is part of what makes our product special. And it will definitely not change the color tone of the skin.
That's excellent. Thank you. Thank you, Thomas. Excellent.
It's a pleasure, Yoshi. Thank you.
All right, so it covers that one, Thomas. I've got questions coming through galore. I don't know which device to take it on. Maybe we should just take one of these ones over here in the interim. The difference. Okay. Can you see them up there, Thomas?
Yeah, here's just one on connection. Kyle Volmeran said he can't see the questions.
Okay. All right, I had one on here now and I've lost it. Okay, can nanosilver be deemed as an antibiotic?
Yes, we actually advocate ours, and on the label it also says it's an antimicrobial, because antibiotics says antibio, anti-life. Antibiotics work differently and they are only target bacterial infections. Our product targets viruses, it targets bacteria, similar to antibiotics, but only the disease-causing bacteria, whereas antibiotics target all bacteria, good and bad bacteria. And our product also kills fungal infections. So in other words, it's a very wide range of antimicrobial, viruses, bacteria, fungi, and some protozoa, like coccidia. That makes our product very different. And what we have experienced is if you take Quantum.Silver, it is not necessary to also take antibiotics. Say, for example, someone has got a bad flu and a chest infection. even whether it's bronchitis or pneumonia. If you take the correct dose and enough of the Quantum.Silver, it covers bacterial infections plus the initial viral infection, and it's not necessary to take an antibiotic over and above that, because it would be like a double kill. On the other hand, if you would like to rather take an antibiotic, there's no negative interaction or cancellation between our product and the bacteria. They do not interact. They're very different, and their mechanism of action is also different. So in other words, one can take them simultaneously, although most people only take Quantum.Silver and get better quite quickly. Does that answer that question?
I think it answers it very well. There was one here that came up here, and I'm just going back to it quickly. I wish it was all coming through in one platform, but it's not. Okay. Are there any scientific studies that have been done to support what we're saying here tonight?
Yes, very important question. First of all, we must understand that this product has been on the market in South Africa for a couple of years, about 4 years plus. But the initiation of developing Quantum.Silver as a medical product in South Africa is based on international peer-reviewed medical articles that have been published on nanosilver and the effect of nanosilver in different conditions and different infections. So anyone can Google to study and see what has been published by scientists, by medical researchers, by doctors and specialists that have done extensive studies on animals and on humans on nanosilver and its various effects on infections and even on things like cancer. And so the nice thing is it's a well-researched product. We know exactly how it works on a cellular and on a chemical level. There's no guesswork involved. We also know in which situations it will not work, and we are very open about that. This is mainly targeting infections. If someone, for example, has got a chronic condition of autoimmune polyarthritis, he just has pain in all the joints, I'll tell people that our product will probably not help them because it is not a primary anti-inflammatory product. It targets infections in the body, and there it is very effective. The research on this level, if I may just add, is ongoing. There's a lot of research, especially since 2020, 2021, also after COVID, new interest, because the medical profession and the traditional medicine has got mainly antibiotics to combat infection. And as we know, antibiotics do nothing to viruses, they do nothing to fungi, and therefore they are looking desperately for good alternatives that are safe and highly effective. And nanosilver pops up again and again and again in new research as a better alternative in such cases.
All right, Thomas, we've got Carl.
Yeah.
Kai. Are you online? Can you hear us? You just got. I seem to have lost it. They got on and off at a rate. Okay, in the meantime, while I'm trying to catch up with that.
Yeah, I see a question here from Kyle that is written on the Q&A. Some people claim that if you use too much silver products, your skin can turn bluish. Why is this? And is it true? Yes, that is quite a...
Carl is online now. Carl, can you hear us?
Right.
Can you hear us now?
Unmute. There we are.
You can talk. You can go for it, Carl. All right, we got a very bad line there. Okay, so
Yeah.
I'm just going to mute that for now, but we got to answer that question. I think it's a very important one. Everybody
Yeah.
asks me that question, and I'd love you to answer it for me.
Okay. Yeah. All right. There has been a report of a person that I know about, and the picture is floating around of a person whose skin turned blue many, many years ago.
How's it, Thomas? Hi, Thomas.
Hi, Carl. Would you like to ask another question? Okay, I'll just carry on explaining that about the discoloration of the skin. So what happened is this person was brewing his own silver in his garage, and he wanted to prove a point to himself, and he drank gallons of the old colloidal silver, ionic silver, which he produced himself in the garage. And then he also exposed himself to the sun for many hours a day to make sure that that silver stays in the skin. And eventually it did turn the skin blue. Yeah. So yes, it did happen. I only know of that one case. I've never heard of anyone else who has been so mad of drinking gallons and gallons of homemade ionic silver. Our product, that's why I explained earlier on, is very, very different. The active ingredient, which is made in Germany, is made in a process called quantum dotting, where they take an inert molecule and they attach to it these nano-sized silver atoms which are uncharged. And that process of attaching a silver atom, which is minute, to that molecule is called quantum dotting. And that's where our name comes from of a product called Quantum.Silver. So our product cannot accumulate in the body. It does not enter any healthy cells, not skin cells, not muscle cells, no healthy cells, no liver, no, it can't be stored in the body because of this unique nature, how the product has been produced in this molecular form. That's why it's excreted also mainly by the liver within 12 hours. At least within 24 hours, there's not a trace of silver left in the body of our quantum silver. It can only enter a cell that has been infected. For example, if you have a flu and the flu virus enters a nasal mucous membrane cell, or maybe even in the lungs, then that cell membrane is changed because of the infection. And then the silver can enter through that cell membrane and get hold of the virus and destroy the virus within the cell. But it can't enter a healthy cell. And that makes it extremely different, but also very safe for children or any person. I hope that we've put that to rest. It can't discolor. So it is also for that same reason safe to drink it on an ongoing basis. We have people that drink it as a tonic once a day for a long period, months on end. The good point about that is because it doesn't kill your good bacteria in the gut. So it doesn't reduce your immune system. It doesn't make you more susceptible to any infections, whereas it keeps any bacteria or viruses out that shouldn't be there. And people that have been doing that for a long time just say that they go through summer and winter and the chance of getting sick is minimal. I don't know, Grant, whether you maybe have had any reports or know of people that drink it on a regular basis.
Look, since I've been in contact with you, I know lots of people. I take it myself because I'm one of those miracle. I call it my miracle juice because it absolutely. I mean, I think it was long-term COVID, whatever it might be, and every time I exercised and did a race or anything like that, because that's what I love to do, I was down, man out for weeks. So it's my go-to. You know, I've been racing for over a year now. No problems at all. So I'm very, very happy, and I use it regularly. I do hear people who say there's a name to the disease. They call it something.
The blue discoloration is
Yeah,
called
what do they call it?
Argyria.
Argyria.
Argy. Argyria.
So if you go online and you look for it, you're going to find it, and it's all over the place. But there's a whole lot of theories. But in our circle that we interview, and I interview a lot of people, we don't come across this. So it goes down to exactly what you said: is it's how it's done, what it's done. The gentleman that you spoke about, I think you put salt with it as well to speed up the processes, which made it into a chloride.
Correct.
So you've got all these funny things that happen in garages where this is scientifically done. So it's a different thing altogether. So I think we've covered that quite nicely. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to just go on to some other questions here. And there was some down here, a lady by the name Ann Kip asked a couple of questions. I think we should answer one. If you have underlying health problems, e.g. high blood pressure, diabetes, does this affect by taking Quantum.Silver? Is this affected by that?
First of all, it's important to note that Quantum.Silver can be taken together with any chronic medication, whether it's blood pressure, whether it's for depression, whether it's hormonal, whatever, because there's no direct effect of Quantum.Silver with the medication that you are taking. If you're unsure or a bit nervous about it, then just take them 30 minutes apart. You take your normal medication, and then 30 minutes or an hour later, you take Quantum.Silver. But we know that it has got no interference and no effect on each other. On the other hand, many patients that suffer from type 2 diabetes have had very positive results taking Quantum.Silver. The first one is that they notice the energy levels improve, and that varies from person to person. Some feel it within a day or two, others take maybe 2 weeks or 3 weeks. But we know Quantum.Silver makes cells more sensitive to insulin. So those people who suffer from insulin intolerance, the cells become sensitive again, and the insulin helps to get blood glucose out of the blood into the cells so that the cells have energy. So there's only a positive effect taking Quantum.Silver together with chronic infections. Quantum.Silver does not have an effect on blood pressure or on the functioning of a heart, except if there would be an infection.
All right, that's great. So there's another question here, which is also quite, does the product work for nail funguses, and how should we apply it? Should we use the gel and all the process that goes with it? And that's from anonymous attendee.
Yeah. Okay, a very good question. We've had quite a few of those requests in the past year about fungal infections because they are not easy to treat. So the principle is the Quantum.Silver will definitely kill the fungus. The challenge is, how do we get a high concentration of the Quantum.Silver to the point of infection?
Was that your question?
All right. So if, for example, there's a toenail infection and that has been ongoing for a while, we suggest that a person buys the Quantum.Silver gel and applies the gel on the toe, also under the toenail, between the toe and the toenail, so that it can infiltrate from there. And at the same time, drink Quantum.Silver for at least 7 to 14 days. Because it's a chronic infection, the treatment period will also be longer. It will not be solved in 2 or 3 days. Not with our product, probably not with any other product. So cover the Quantum.Silver with gel onto the nail. It dries quite quickly, so it won't be oily and make your socks oily, etc. Do that twice a day and drink Quantum.Silver. If the infection is quite at the tip of the toe, I would actually suggest to pour some Quantum.Silver into a small cup and put your toe into that solution at least once daily, if possible twice daily, for a week or 10 days at least. And the infection should start disappearing and heal totally. If it comes back, it means that 90% of the infection was killed, but there was still some residue left. So the treatment period wasn't long enough. So if that happens, please repeat it, but repeat a bit longer to ensure that all of the fungus is killed.
Okay.
I see here's another question by Robert. How effective is a cream on sun blemishes? Also, what effect does it have on cancerous symptoms? First of all, on sun blemishes, we've had a few people that were on our trial with the healing cream that tried that for sun blemishes. And we had report backs of seeing that it does make a difference and that those blemishes become less with time. So I would suggest trying that healing cream. As you know, with any medication, there are no guarantees, but we have had so much positive response that it's worth giving it a try for sun blemishes. On the subject of cancerous symptoms, there again, I would recommend that if it's a skin condition or skin cancer, that you can try either the Quantum.Silver gel or the healing cream. The healing cream contains Quantum.Silver plus the 3 different essential oils. Some of them are also effective against cancerous growths, plus other products that are in there. And do that on a continuous basis. And I always recommend to drink Quantum.Silver together with a topical application, because then you affect that cancerous growth that you want to get rid of from both the blood circulation, that's the basal cells of the skin, plus a topical. And the response is usually twice as fast if you attack it from topical plus also systemic drinking it.
Okay. We've got a couple of people who want to go online, and they get a little bit shy when I say you can talk. So I've unmuted Don, and if Don's got any questions that he wants to ask, Don, just unmute yourself. So they put their hands up, ask questions, and then disappear. So, okay, so let's go back to the questions again. Okay. All right, are products registered, and can Quantum.Silver be used with a combination of prescribed prescription medicine? Did you get that?
Grant, would you mind just repeating that, please?
All right, so, okay, Quantum.Silver, and let's just go back to, I'll close that again.
Oh, can it be used in combination with prescribed medicine?
Can it be used in combination with prescribed medicine? Yes.
Yes, it can be used in combination with prescribed medicine. As I said, the uniqueness of the active ingredient, that molecule that we use in Quantum.Silver, does not react with any other medications that you would be using that are on prescription, whether it's antibiotics, whether it's for blood pressure, heart conditions, diuretics. There's no interaction, or insulin. It does not act against or without that, so it can be taken in conjunction or additional to your prescribed medicine. There's actually one scientific report that has been published where they tested antibiotics on their own, different antibiotics, or antibiotics in combination with Quantum.Silver. And then that particular study, they proved that the antibiotics were more effective if they were taken together with Quantum.Silver or nano-silver than on their own. So that's the only synergistic effect where they help each other, is that in that study they showed that the nano-silver actually supports and makes antibiotics more effective.
All right. I think that's pretty comprehensive. So what we said before the show and during the week Yes, talk to us, Don.
Grant.
Talk to us.
Sorry, hello, everybody. I'm phoning from Leeds in the middle of England. One particular aspect which has not been mentioned is that when people travel, one is open, the immune system is open to infection on planes, at airports, and the like. I pumped myself with Quantum.Silver last week on Saturday, Sunday, Monday, and I left for the UK on Tuesday. Normally one picks up some measure of infection, a cold or a sore throat. I have to say it was brilliant. And in turn, I had a bit of a sniffle. I took Quantum.Silver, the nose spray, and within 3 hours, it was totally fixed. So I just think many of us do travel. And if we do travel, be it to Cape Town, to Johannesburg, or wherever, using Quantum.Silver as a protection against foreign infection while traveling is a great idea. Thanks, Grant.
Thank you, Don.
Thank you.
Okay, so that was brilliant. So Don used it to travel, infections again, brilliant. So now getting back to the giveaways, 5 giveaways that we're going to be giving away during the course of the program. And I see we're way into the program already. Time's going so quickly. But we're giving away, it's a family pack, which is your ideal medical chest, your medical chest for any typical household. So maybe you want to just go a little bit into that, Thomas, and then we'll do a random draw on my computer and get the first winner.
Great. Yeah, I think the pack for a family, which we call a family first aid pack, has been designed in such a way that for most common conditions that occur in a family or in a household, you've got products available immediately. Let's take an example. If your children come home from school and they do their homework and they feel tired and they don't feel well, you put them to bed. And then 10 o'clock at night, they come and wake you up and say, listen, my throat is sore, or they start coughing, or they just have a fever. Then it's ideal to have a bottle of Quantum.Silver, which will be included in your family pack, and treat them immediately. Because by tomorrow morning, they should already start feeling better. Because it is so effective, it works within 20 minutes. Instead of waking up at 8 and wondering which doctor's open and where to start making appointments and calling off the day, etc., we want to do a first line help with the household pack. If a child gets injured and there are blemishes, like I got a cut on my leg today when I was loading a silver order on a trailer. And so I had the gel immediately there, just cleaned it up with a cloth, put on the gel, and climbed into the car and did my delivery. So that's how quick it is. It's right there, it's available, and also the shelf life is quite long. Sometimes one wakes up in the morning and one eye is closed because there's an infection, or you have pink eye, or like my friend last week who had a viral conjunctivitis. Well, here are the eye drops. Put an eye drop in immediately, and 2 hours later repeat it. Well, this afternoon, the body should start responding already. So the design of the family pack is really to have 5 products together that are available immediately for common household conditions. Any part of the family, they're safe from young to old, no side effects. One doesn't have to be scared of anything of that, but highly effective, and they'll probably sort out most of the common conditions that occur. To give you time to heal, and if necessary, obviously, you take further medical steps where it's appropriate.
Okay, Thomas, I'm just having a look down the questions here, and on my computer, it's come up with Anne Kip as the first winner of our first giveaway. And at the same time, she's also asked a question maybe you want to answer is, can Quantum.Silver be used as a mouthwash rinse for general hygiene?
Yes.
Yes.
Actually, a friend of mine who was one of my first guinea pigs about 5 years ago when we were busy developing the product. He always has a stock of a couple of bottles in his household, and his practice is to take a mouthful in the morning and just do a mouth rinse with it, because that gives you a fresh breath. It kills any bacteria that shouldn't be there. It keeps your gums healthy. And if there's a mouth infection or starting of mouth ulcers, you actually treat that before they develop into something painful and something ongoing. So yes, it can be used for mouth infections, for just to keep your gums healthy, and your tongue, etc., and that freshness that's always there. And then also, if there's a throat infection or pain in the throat from postnasal drip, or maybe the beginning of flu-like symptoms, then you take a mouthful and gargle with it. But instead of spitting it out, you swallow it, because then it can also have a systemic effect when it's taken up into the bloodstream and kill whatever shouldn't be there. Yeah, so a very good idea. Thank you, Anne, for that. But we recommend it really to be used on a regular basis because it's got so many advantages.
Okay. So now, Thomas, we come to the next giveaway that I think we should do now. And I see the questions coming galore in all kinds of avenues again. And I saw one interesting one here, and I'm trying to find it because I put it into the question to ask if she wanted to come online. It was from Emma. And she's interested in using Quantum.Silver on animal health, specifically.
Yeah.
Antibiotics. I know it's this dumb question because anybody who doesn't know that you're actually a vet doctor, and the whole process of where we are today started. So maybe you want to fill it in and then answer Anne's question. And by the way, Anne, for that question, we're going to be sending you a pack as well. So we'll get hold of you after the show. Go for it, Thomas.
Thank you. Yeah, the irony is, although I'm a veterinarian and a farmer myself, and I still farm, is that I developed this product with my wife many years ago, 4 or 5 years ago, for humans. And after selling it for about a year into the human market and having all these fantastic responses and testimonies, I had a problem with my pigs because I kept on treating them with antibiotics and had no response. They were actually dying like flies. And so I think it was probably my wife that said, "Now, why don't you use Quantum.Silver on your pigs?" And that's really, I felt so dumb as I do. Why didn't I think of that? So yeah, it's got the same effect on bacteria and infections in animals as it has in humans. So since then, we've developed an animal arm with the medicating with Quantum.Silver from dogs and cats and birds, chickens, pigs, horses, cattle, sheep, with very, very excellent results in many areas. So yes, definitely it's used in pets. I know some households that have their family pack or have some silver. If their dog doesn't feel well, or it's just, they're not sure what it is, they put some Quantum.Silver in its water or maybe on its pellets, and to do that twice a day. The dosage is 1 milliliter per kilogram. So in other words, a small dog that weighs 10 kilograms or less, you give it 5 mil or 10 mil, which is like 2 teaspoons. And obviously a big dog takes a bit more. Put on their food twice a day, and within a day or two, they're a lot better. We use it on our Labradors, which are now 11 years old. Sometimes they have an ear infection and keep scratching the ear. Then we put it in the ears. Or if they just don't feel well or ate something they shouldn't have eaten from the compost heap, then we put it on their food. And within hours or at least within a day, they are like new again and feel young and chase the monkeys again. So very effective and very safe for animals.
Okay. All right. Then we've got one from Kate Naidu. and it's about gut health. And I know this is something you mentioned to me earlier before we came online. Gut health we need to cover, because again, it's another product that it's got all these mental health issues, gut health issues. So it's a very, very good question from Kate Naidu. So she's also going to be getting a prize. And yeah, Thomas, answer that for us.
Yeah. For gut health, I think it's a subject that is very vast, and there are many symptoms that come with the unhealthy gut microbiome, which can lead to leaky gut, which can lead to bloating, to heartburn, just weak digestion, bad absorption, etc. So we've developed a capsule that is made up a combination of Quantum.Silver and probiotics. And these two together are in one capsule, and we call it Quantum.Silver Gut Health. So that will eliminate any infection that there shouldn't be. So it only kills the bad bacteria, the bad viruses, or protozoa that might be in the gut. At the same time, it restores gut health by having 9 strains of probiotics in the gut. And the nice thing is, although they come in their billions in a capsule, because there are 2 billion probiotic bacteria in 1 gram of probiotic. As soon as they land in the gut and they are dissolved in the digestive juices, those bacteria start multiplying and double in numbers every 20 minutes. So they restore the normal function of the gut. And that is felt not only that the discomfort or bloating in the gut goes away, or if there's diarrhea, that becomes better, but gut health actually affects your mental health. People that suffer from chronic indigestion, from chronic bloating, inflammation of the gut, it will affect their mood. It will affect their ability to work properly. It can even lead to depression, because there are a high concentration of nerves in the gut, and those are obviously linked to the brain. So there's a direct interaction between the gut and the brain. And although I'm not a specialist on this field, we know how important it is to restore gut health, and that will automatically also restore mental health, your energy levels, and just have that desire to work again and do things and be active and be alive. So thank you for that. It's critical that one understands our body is not made in separate compartments that are shut from each other. They're actually interlinked and affect each other. So the product again, it's a capsule called QS Gut Health. And those capsules we recommend, especially for the first week or 2, that you take 2 a day, 1 in the morning and 1 in the evening, and then see for yourself how those conditions improve, how your energy comes back, and how you just feel so much better.
I think it's a brilliant product. I just want to backtrack a bit. Diana wants to know which is the product she should use for gargling. Yeah. She missed that when you answered that.
All right, sorry. Yeah, for gargling, it would be this half-liter brown bottle, which contains a Quantum.Silver. It has no coloring, and it hasn't got any sweeteners in it. It's just deionized water with the silver, so it tastes like water. Use this, take a big sip, and do a mouthwash with that, or gargle with that, and then swallow it. Don't discard it. Don't spit it out. It's a waste of good medicine.
Okay.
And do that twice a day. Or if it's the beginning of a sore throat, I recommend to do it at least 3 or 4 times a day. There are no side effects. You can't overdose on it. Even if I would drink this whole bottle now, I could go to bed and just feel good tomorrow morning. It's got no side effects. That's how safe it is. So taking a mouthful 4 times a day is not overdoing it. You'll just see a much quicker response.
Well, that's a good tip, because I've been gargling with it, but I've been wasting it. I should have swallowed it.
Well,
I
it's
didn't
not
even
good
think
for
of
our
getting that.
sales if I say that.
Yeah.
So, no, you understand.
Yeah. And I think what we're going to do is for Diana, we're also going to give you a prize so you can practice with that gargling and don't spit it out, swallow it. Eh? It goes a long way. All right.
Yeah.
So we basically come to the end of an incredible program. I still got 28
Now,
questions.
quickly,
Go for it. We're not closing off just yet.
I just see one that really hit me here. It's in the middle of my list from Robert. How effective is Quantum.Silver to diabetes? I have someone who has incredible swelling in the legs, and this has led to ulcers. Yes, we've got incredible testimonies of people that have been suffering of diabetes for a long time. I'm talking about 5 to 10 years, and many of them have got ulcers in their legs, even to the point where they've been advised to get amputations. So we recommend to drink the Quantum.Silver, 50 ml twice a day for at least a month or two, and at the same time use the Quantum.Silver spray on the ulcers or the gel, one of those, and use it liberally. Don't be stingy with it, and then the effect is so much quicker. And I've got pictures that people sent me that use this with incredible healing after a while. Obviously, with deep ulcers, it takes longer. It might take 2 months or 3 months. But we've also got testimonies of people that should have gone for amputations who didn't go, but they started with this. It improved their blood glucose levels, their energy, and the ulcers actually started healing. So very, very effective for diabetes and ulcerations and sores. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks for that, Robert. So the q-health.co.za is a website where you can go and get all these products that we're speaking about. And it's actually a very, very effective website because all you got to do is type what you've got, the ailment and whatever it might be, and all the solutions on there. Thomas has done lectures. We've got testimonials, videos. Some of the cases that we've spoken about, they're actual people who actually given their own experiences of how it's helped them. So there's a huge line of success stories, and it just carries on and on and on. So Thomas, just carry on doing what you're doing. It's an incredible journey that you are on. And the online shop is very, very effective. There's like a 3-day delivery. It's very, very slick, and once people are on it, you get your medicine chest going and you just keep restocking it and you just stay healthy. And it's a really, 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 really good thing that you're doing. So well done, Thomas.
Thank you, Grant. We really appreciate that. And for all the participants who came with all the questions, the suggestions, everyone who's already sent in testimonies, because that encourages other people to also try it and get the same benefits from it. So thank you for every person's contribution so far.
Yeah, and thank you to everybody. And we've still got, in case you're wondering and been counting, we've got one more giveaway. So I'm going to go right back to the beginning. And if you were the person who asked that first question and came online live and were brave enough, Yoshini Naidu, there's a prize coming to you too. So all of you people, what you've actually got to do, I'll send you the instructions afterwards. Go online and follow the instructions and just become a member of our loyalty program, and you'll be informed through the website of what specials are coming up, what new products are coming out, success stories. It's just an incredible website to go to. So once again, to everybody at home, Thomas, and to our 2 panelists who couldn't make it through because of technicalities. I know they're online because they're bugging me on the phone. Thank you very much and good night. And we'll see you on the next master discussion on Quantum.Silver.
Thank you very much. And have a great evening.
All righto.